Guys, what is up? Here we are with another reading video, and today we are on chapters 35 and 36 of Milkweed by Jerry Spinelli. All I want to say is that we are so dang close to 100 subscribers. If we can get to 100 by the end of August, which is not that bad of a goal, hopefully. I don't know. So please make sure you do hit that subscribe button when you either watch the video, you click on it, or after you've finished. Now, let's get right into it. Milkweed by Jerry Spinelli. Chapter 35. Spring. "What's that?" Janina said. She went to the window. The twins ran after her. We were in the room. It was day. There were voices outside the window. I joined the others. In the courtyard below, children were singing. They sounded more like crows than like children. When they sensed we were watching from above, they turned their faces up to us, all rags and eyes. "Why are they singing?" I said. Mr. Milgram's voice came over my shoulder. "They are hungry. They are singing for food." "We have no food," I said. This was true. Gina and I returned from heaven each night. She was going out with me again. We dropped something through the window of Dr. K's orphanage and brought the rest straight home and ate it at once. "Come away from the window, children," said Mr. Milgram. The singing in the courtyard went on for a while. Then it went away. The flies were always singing. The days were warm and the bodies were cold, and the flies were singing and drinking at the eyes and boils of the children. No one took from the bodies under the newspapers, as there were no clothes left to take. No shoes, only rags. I believed I saw angels lurking behind the eyes of the living, waiting. Angels and crows passed each other, one leaving, the other coming. Every day a parade of body wagons backed up at the Jesus Street gate of the cemetery. Smugglers hung like sad fruits from lamp posts with signs around their necks. The piper marched up and down the streets, blew his silver flute, and cried out, "Come to the Candy Mountain!" On Sundays, the jackboots came with their girlfriends to pinch their noses and take pictures and toss bread to the pigeons. One soldier made the others laugh. He wore a clothespin on his nose. Food was harder and harder to find, even in heaven. Sometimes all I could find was green bread. Sometimes there was nothing in a garbage can but dripping the fat in the bottom. I had no container, so I scooped 2 handfuls and returned with that. The others ate the fat from my hands. Even with the smuggled food, Janina had gotten thinner and thinner. Her face had become as thin as a fox's. While the rest of her became smaller, her eyes grew larger. In other ways, Janina was her old self, chattering, complaining, shadowing me everywhere I went, and everything I did. She made me self-conscious. I hesitated to do things that had always come naturally. I stopped harassing buffaloes so that Janina would also stop, but it didn't work. In fact, she went even farther. She became a gnat in the nose of every flop she saw. She called them names. She threw stones. She sneaked up behind them and whacked them on the backs of their knees with a metal pipe. I smacked her. I shouted at her, but I could not change her. I could not understand her moods, her outbursts. I mostly accepted the world as I found it. She did not. She smacked me back and kicked me. In time, I found my own best way to deal with her. On many days, I went off to a favorite bomb crater, lowered myself into it, and licked traces of fat from between my fingers, and closed my eyes and remembered the good old days when ladies walked from bakeries with bulging bags of bread. Chapter 36. One minute I was walking alone. I was heading for the bomb crater, and the next minute someone was beside me. I gave a yelp. "Yuri!" He had not been around in a long time. I hugged him. He pushed away. "Shut up," he said. "Just listen." He smacked me on the back of the head. "Are you listening?" "Yes," I said. "Get out," he said. "Get out?" He wore a blue and white armband just like mine. "I'm not going to say it." "Get out." I was confused. "Get out of where?" "Get out of the ghetto. Out of Warsaw. Out of everywhere. Just get out. Go, and don't look back." There were no scabs or boils on Yuri's face. He wore clothes, shoes. A hollow-eyed, rag-draped skeleton appeared before us. I could not tell if it was a boy or a girl. It held out his hand. Yuri pulled a fat pickle from his pocket. He bit off a piece and took the piece from his mouth and gave it to the hand. He walked on. Why? I said. Deportations, he said. They're going to begin soon. They're clearing out the ghetto. Deportations. They're going to get rid of all of you. Take you away on trains. This sounded good to me. Where? I said. Russia? Washington, America? He curled his fingers around my neck. He squeezed. I don't know. You don't want to know. Whatever you do, do not get on a train. Do not be here when the trains come. Just go. Get out. Run. Don't stop running. He looked at the sky. Ever. I looked at the sky with him, but nothing was there. He stared at me. I never asked you. How do you get to the other side? I told him about the 2-brick hole. He whacked his head. He almost grinned. You little turd. I knew you'd be good for something. Remember when I saw you in the Blue Camel Hotel? I said excitedly. He bounced a knuckle off my forehead. You didn't see me anywhere, you hear? You never saw me. You don't know me. Another knuckle. You understand? I nodded, but I did not understand. I have to go, he said. Gave me the rest of his pickle. He stepped back. He stared at me up and down. He wagged his head and looked sad, darker than ever. He spit on his finger and rubbed my cheek. Before you go, find some water and wash your face. He reached into a rubble of Bix and pulled out a handful of white dust. See this? Rub your face with this. Your hands. He washed my hands in the dust. They became whiter than his. See this? See? Before you go. He pointed to my armband. Take that thing off. He grabbed my hair and shook my head till I was dizzy. Do not look at anyone. Do not stop for anything. You are not a Jew. You are not a gypsy. You are a nobody. He slapped my face. Say it. I am a nobody. He let me go. He backed off. His red hair was cut so short it was just a tinge of rust creeping out of his cap. He turned and walked away. He came back, squeezed my neck. Tell no one but the boys, he said. He looked about. How are they? Are they all right? Not Oleg, I said. Oleg is hanged, with a sign. Yuri stared at me. They smuggle, like me, but not through the hole. They're too big. Yuri looked at the sky for a long time. He closed his eyes. He looked back at me. He reached into his pocket and handed me something. Here. He walked away for good. It was a piece of candy. The chocolate coat was melting. I ate it. It was a buttercream with a hazelnut heart. I went straight to the boys at the butcher shop ruins. I told them I had seen Yuri. He says we must go. Kuba laughed. Go? Go where? Out of the ghetto, I said. Out of everywhere. Run. Run forever. Kuba and Ferdy laughed. Enos did not. Why? He said. Deportation. The boys looked at one another. What's that mean? Said Ferdy. I don't know, said Enos, but I could tell he did. Big Henrik boomed, Run! I saved the pickle for my family. As they chewed the pieces, I said, We must go. I said it in a whisper so the new people in the room could not hear. What are you talking about? Said Uncle Shepsel. Yuri says the trains are coming to take us away. He says we have to run. Who is Yuri? Said Mr. Milgram. Yuri is my friend. Your friend is cuckoo, said Uncle Shepsel. Why would they take you anywhere? They already have you like pigs in a pen. What else can they do to you? And I say you, he pointed at each of us, because I am no longer one of you. He licked the pickle juice from his lip. I am a Lutheran. Everyone knows. I have nothing to fear. I'm only thinking of you. He jabbed his book in Mr. Milgram's face with your Hanukkahs and stubbornness. You. Gina pulled on his father's sleeve. I want to go away on the train, Tata. Mr. Milgram patted her hand. There will be no train. Uncle Shepsel is right. There's nothing else they can do to us. And that is the end of chapter 36. Now, let me see. Oh, chapter 37 is too long, so we can not be able to continue reading. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to leave a big thumbs up, comment down below, and don't forget, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys on the next video.